Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video where I say words from my mouth and you listen. It is I, your chosen one, your steward of Gondor, your genius billionaire playboy, basic YouTuber philanthropist, SuperCliff. And please, if you like what you see / hear, then hit that like and subscribe button, for every little bit helps in this YouTube world. And today, folks, we are back at it with Shang-Chi, issue number 3, written by the chosen messiah, GeneLuenYang, and drawn by Ron and philiptan. And our story begins with a flashback in Peking, China, in the year 1900, more specifically during the Boxer Rebellion. Now, in case you are a history fanatic, check it. The ruling Qing dynasty at this time was extremely weak. Therefore, foreign influence within China flourished, and so a rebellion rose. However, the rebellion was crushed by the 8-nation alliance. This included countries such as England, Japan, Italy, France, Russia, Austria, Germany, and America. So yeah, that's basically what we are witnessing here. A massacre against the rebels. And of course, ZhengZu and his 5-weapon society are supporting the rebels. Though sadly, even with the group's assistance, it's to no avail. Amongst the fighting, a couple of Brother Saber's men form their leaders, but the House of Deadly Saber has been breached by the Western invaders. Immediately, ZhengZu and his deadly weapons rush towards the House of Saber, but they are too late, for the House of the Deadly Saber has been sacked, including the house's shrine of ZhengZu's younger brother, ZhengZi, who has since passed several decades earlier. This desecration infuriates ZhengZu, so much so that he begins demeaning Brother Saber. For ZhengZu believed Saber to be the strongest of all the deadly weapons, yet the warriors of his house have proven otherwise. Rather, they were ill-prepared to defend the house, and through an act of rage, ZhengZu Hadouken Saber, for his presence shouts weakness. ZhengZu then reveals that his younger brother, ZhengZi, was a gentle soul, and in ZhengZu's terms, this means weak. And throughout the years, ZhengZu has told his disciples that ZhengZi died peacefully in his old age. But that was all bullshit, as ZhengZu reveals that he murdered his brother and then stole the spirit energy to augment his own, because strength will always defeat weakness. And slash, ZhengZu makes an example of Brother Saber by cutting off his head. We are then given some background information following the 8 nations invasion, where ZhengZu moved 4 out of the 5 society houses to foreign nations in order to keep tabs on those who had aggressed his society. The House of the Deadly Hand remained in China, whilst the House of the Deadly Staff was moved to England, House of the Deadly Hammer in Russia, House of the Deadly Saber, Japan, and lastly, the House of the Deadly Dagger in France. 20 minutes outside the city of Paris, behind a giant waterfall, which is where Shang-Chi is currently residing, as we shift over to the present day, where we see Shang-Chi donning a badass-looking ceremonial uniform, which is given to him by Brother Saber, whose real name is revealed to be Takashi. And it's here we are told that following the events of issue number 2, Chang and Takashi, over the last couple of days, have bonded really well, to the point where Brother Saber had revealed his true name to Chang, and that Chang prefers to call Brother Saber Takashi since Brother Saber is his cult name. The two bros are then interrupted by a flying dagger thrown by Sister Dagger, who informs her brothers that they are late for morning training. Oh, and it's also revealed that Chang is still trying to find a way to connect with his sister. Afterwards, the 3 attend their morning training with Master Ling, whom teaches the trio about the Jingchi, the dead creatures that they fought in the previous issue. But the Jingchi are quick, cunning, and because they are dead, they are extra hard to kill. Master Ling then summons the warriors of the Deadly Dagger to train with the trio, whom are dressed up as Jingchi to provide a mood, which by the way is hilarious, and everyone here knows it. Anyways, these creatures are created from 3 elements: a dead body, spirit energy, and an unavenged grievance. Therefore, the only way to stop a Jingchi is by using paper amulets marked with chicken's blood straight to the forehead, which is demonstrated within these lovely panels. Following their training, Sister Dagger makes fun of Shang-Chi and Brother Saber for giving each other a high five, or as she puts it, a session of patty cake. Takashi then informs Chang that he has recovered enough to assume his rightful place as the Supreme Commander of the 5-Weapon Society. Suddenly, Chang's wound begins to pulsate, which causes Chang to excuse himself. And whilst Chang takes off, Sister Dagger mentions that it should be Brother Saber who inherits the role as the Supreme Commander, showcasing to us that Sister Dagger clearly doesn't think too highly of Shang-Chi. Later, Chang is examining his cut in the bathroom. He notes that the night sky blood has stopped spewing, but the wound itself has grown, which causes Chang to wonder if he is slowly changing into a Jingchi. Suddenly, the ghost of ZhengZu whispers to Chang, luring his son over to the next room, where the shrine of ZhengZu is located. Chang informs the ghost that he doesn't care if the torch of the Deadly Hand is lit, for Chang refuses to lead the cult. but it appears that the ghost isn't referring to ZhengZu's shrine, but rather the old shrine that's located behind it, which is revealed to be the shrine of ZhengZu's younger brother / Zheng's uncle, Shang-Chi. Therefore, this isn't the ghost of the sinister ZhengZu, but rather the ghost of ZhengZi, who then tells his nephew to visit more and to bring food, because ghosts are hungry too. After the ghost vanishes, Chang uncovers a map on the old shrine, and once Chang takes a snapshot of the map on his phone, he is suddenly under attack by Sister Dagger. And it's here where Sister Dagger drops cold truths, as she tells Chang that ever since he got here, she has watched him eat, train, and bro out with Takashi, and that the only reason as to why she has put up with this thus far is because Brother Saber believes in Chang. But since Chang has apparently desecrated her house's shrine, it's not only pissed off Sister Dagger, but it also shows that she doesn't believe that Shang-Chi should be the Supreme Commander. But fortunately, Chang is not in the mood to fight, and so our hero jumps out the window to avoid his half-sister's wrath. Later at the Marazan library, we pick up with Chang researching about the map and its depictions of landmarks, which unfortunately Chang has no clue of. Therefore, our hero dials some MI6 assistants from Liquei Wu, who is still pissed that Chang left her behind in the previous issue, but luckily she's still willing to help. In addition, Wu also shares some info regarding MI5, who are currently considering a large-scale attack on Chang's family. Luckily, Wu is aware that Chang is in Paris, therefore he is close to the Louvre Museum, which is where Sister Hammer and her warriors are at the moment, for they are currently looking for a specific urn located within the Chinese art exhibit section. And in order to assist her needs, Sister Hammer brought a Jingxi to help find this specific urn. Shang-Chi immediately busts through a window to confront his sister. Once the Shang-Chi's wrappings are removed, Sister Hammer commands the creature to find the urn. But whilst that's happening, Shang-Chi's wound starts to pulsate again. Plus, he starts getting the urge to follow Sister Hammer's commands. Spooky! Fortunately, this weirdness is averted upon Brother Saber and Sister Dagger's arrival, and bada bing bada boom, some Mortal Kombat ensues, as we are given some beautiful panels featuring Chang fighting Sister Hammer, along with Brother Saber and Sister Dagger taking out several of the deadly weapon warriors, in the most brutal fashion, of course. And once every single society warrior is out of commission or killed, the Jingxi was able to locate the urn and gives it to Sister Hammer. Shang-Chi strikes the demon, as he was taught so by Master Ling, and although the paper amulet attack worked, in the end, it doesn't matter, for Sister Hammer commands the demon to explode, which also causes Chang to suddenly feel the urge to press a button of sorts. And it's here where we see that the Jingxi is strapped with a bomb. But before the demon can explode, Chang selflessly acts as a human shield for his half-brother and his half-sister from the badass explosion that follows. A half an hour later, while the fire department is busy cleaning up the aftermath, across rooftops we see Brother Saber checking Chang's back for wounds. And as he does so, Brother Saber wonders as to why Chang's blood is sparkly. Now, unfortunately, no one here knows the answer to that. However, this act of bravery convinces Sister Dagger that Shang-Chi is indeed the chosen one. Therefore, she reveals her name to be Esme, and it's here where we see our heroes stand together beneath the full moon. Aw yeah! Shang-Chi issue number 3 was another awesome issue which continued Shang-Chi's struggle against the forces of Sister Hammer. This issue was really good because it focused more so on Shang-Chi's growing relationship with Brother Saber and Sister Dagger, especially with the Sister Dagger character, where at first she really doesn't think much of Shang, but due to his willingness to use himself as a human shield to protect her and Brother Saber, she immediately thinks otherwise and starts respecting Chang, along with revealing her true name, which was really nice to see happen. I'm also a fan in how GeneLuenYang used true Chinese historical events to affect a flashback with ZhengZu, and seeing the villain's utter ruthlessness and disdain against the concept of weakness, which was quite frightening. I'm curious to see how the ghost of ZhengZi will come into play, and I really do hope that Chang does bring the ghost food, because that would be hilarious, and I like to laugh. Overall, Marvel's Shang-Chi continues to impress me, and I cannot wait to read issue 4. Shang-Chi issue number 3 gets a lovely 9 out of 10. Giggity goo.